it's always a little bit of a, I don't know, bumpy start. Right before you hit live, there's always one or two things that go a little awry. So I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much for showing up. Today's class is going to be a 30-minute karma yoga. And basically what that means is selfless action. So a lot of you have heard me talk about before yoga off the mat, right? And that is, yes, you can be practicing your strength, your flexibility, your balance, your resilience on a yoga mat. And a lot of us know what that means, practicing your physical poses, but it's a whole other thing to take that yoga off of the mat and into the world. And that's what this karma yoga practice is today. It's going to be about 30 minutes. It is in honor of, as I say, my Bruno. He was everybody's Bruno, and he was definitely a symbol of what is possible with love and a second chance. I have, as many of you have been following along for the years that he was with us, 3.5 years, he was always right here by my yoga mat. So today I set up this picture frame that I made for him. For any of you who know, I love to do mosaics. So I made this turquoise picture frame for him because his collar was turquoise, right? Hopefully some of you are wearing turquoise as well today. And of course his paw print that they gave to us when we got his ashes done. So thank you for showing up. I'm able to make a huge contribution today to True Rescue, who saved my Bruno and gave him that second chance. So it's such an honor to be able to do that. But this practice is really about you practicing your self-care too. The more that I'm setting up the camera, we'll see how this goes. The more that we practice our self-care, the more we have positive energy, strength, resilience, and just that full cup to be able to take that into the world and share it with others, whether it's animals. I mean, there's so much going on in the world, right? So many things that I see that I want to help with. I'm sure you're the same. But for me, it's rescue dogs is one thing that I get to contribute to and really see firsthand the positive effects that it has for one dog, for many dogs at this point. But yours is different. So the whole point is we have to start with our self-care, and that's why we're here too. So thank you for showing up. Namaste. It means the light within me honors and acknowledges that same light that is within each of you. All right, let's get onto our mats. And we're going to start in mountain pose. And the sun is shining. What a beautiful symbol of new beginnings as well. Mountain pose is good alignment. So you start by grounding your feet, aligning your posture. So stand up tall, lift and open your heart. Bring your hands together in prayer. We're going to set that intention of positive energy. And again, karma yoga, taking your yoga practice physically on your mat right now, but then off of your mat as well. What I like to call an unselfie. So deep breath in through your nose, feel the energy of your hands pressing one into the other and your feet grounding down into the earth. We're going to take a sun breath together to salute this new day and as we transition into the summer season as well. So saluting the new day and the season, hopefully you're outside with me, but if not, wherever you are, make it beautiful and perfect just as it is. On your exhale, draw that positive energy in and back to your heart center space. Let's do that 2 more times together. Yoga means unity, by the way, so even though we're not together physically, we're together energetically. Exhale, draw your hands in and back to your heart center space. Let's do that 1 more time. Very deep breath in, gather good positive energy. And then exhale, draw it in and back to your heart center space. We're going to take our feet wide apart, about hip distance apart, and you're going to bring your hands onto your hips. So this is what I like to call a super person stance, right? Superwoman, superman, super person. So hands to hips, strong and empowered. And a lot of times people will see strength in other people that they don't see in themselves. So if you see any strength in me, it's only because it's also in you. And again, unification. So hands to hips, strong, grounded, open to receive positive energy. Okay? Deep breath in through your nose. Exhale, feel your hands pressing into your hips and your feet grounded into the earth, that you are strong, you are steady, you are grounded. Let's take 1 more deep breath in, that warrior super person stance. And then on your exhale, bring your toes together to touch. This is an all-level practice, by the way, today, but you still want to honor and protect and listen to your body. So modify any way that protects your knees, your shoulders, whatever's going on in your body, okay? Hands together in heart center again. We're going to reach the hands forward. You're going to turn your palms open towards the sky as if you're receiving a gift. And then you're going to extend your hands backward and feel your chest and your heart lift up to the sky. Continue to feel your feet grounded down into the surface beneath you. Your hands are going to draw back together. Your palms are going to crawl back together to touch and draw them back to your heart center space. Okay, very gentle, easy movement. We're going to go a little bit faster though. So you're going to draw your hands forward. You're going to open your palms to receive. You're going to open and extend the heart chakra. The heart center is opening. And then you exhale, draw your hands back to heart center, in and together. Let's do that one more time. So inhale, open and receive. Feel that extension in your spine, that lift. Maybe come into a little bit of a back bend if that feels comfortable in your back. Look upward. Be grateful. And then exhale, draw your hands in and back to heart center. And the gratitude is really, even through grief, right? We can find things to be grateful for, right? So go ahead and shift into one foot. We're going to switch and do both sides. We're going to just transition and come into a balance pose. For those of you who are experienced, you can bring your foot up above your knee. If you're newer to it, foot on calf, or you can have your toe down to help you with your balance. You can also hold on to something to help you with your balance as well. We're going to do that same extension and receiving with the breath. So you reach forward, you open up. You might teeter-totter a little. That's okay. If you lose your balance, just try again. Try to focus your eyes. If you look up, you're more open to receive positive energy. Draw your hands in and back to your heart center space. A little teeter-tottery here this morning myself. Let's do that 2 more times. So inhale to open and receive. Again, balance is like anything else. It comes with practice, and as we age, it gets more and more important to practice it. Okay, one more time. Feel all those muscles in your feet and your ankles. Very gentle, easy movement, but a lot going on. Deep breath in, open to receive that positive energy. And exhale, draw your hands in and back to your heart center space and bring both feet down. Let's take a deep breath in. And then find yourself back in that warrior stance, feet hip distance apart. You can step or hop your feet apart. Stand tall and grounded. Just feel the strength and feel the alignment in the body as well. So again, that karma yoga is aligning yourself. It's not just about what we say, right? It's about action. So karma yoga means selfless action, and the key word being action. Like, right, you can't just think it, you have to actually do something. So and you showed up today, so you're doing something. Switch sides, other foot, transition. Again, it can be on your calf, your toe can be down, or you can be a little more adventurous. I'm going to try it again on this side. Hands back to heart center, take a deep breath in, grounded and grateful. Inhale to open. Receive that positive energy, work on that balance, focus your eyes, do the best you can, have a sense of humor with it. If it feels a little hard for you, good for you for trying something hard, something different. Hands back to heart center. Your arms can be kind of like you're walking a tightrope. They can help you a little. Inhale to open. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Wherever you are, breathe deeply. And hands back to heart center. Nice job. Try it one more time with me. Inhale to open, receive that positive energy, working on balance, strength, and resilience, and hands back to heart center. Good. And release your foot down. Let's take a big sun breath in, gather that good positive energy again, that new day, that new season as we transition to summer. Hands down by your side, feel good alignment and posture. Crown of the head down through your tailbone and heels, and then step or hop your feet apart. That warrior super person stance. Okay, feel strong and grounded. Okay, awesome. We're going to work on some warrior poses next. So again, warrior, we all have the strength. Sometimes we just we lose our strength, right? Because things derail us and we start to lose our power, but then we can get back on this upward spiral. So for those of you who are with me on the 5-day yoga and smoothie reset, that's what these 5 days are all about, getting back on the upward spiral. So your feet are really wide apart. You're going to turn your right toes away from you. Your left toes are going to be turned in, and your heel is the furthest thing away from you on that left heel. You're going to bend your right knee, and just to protect your knees, that right knee is right out over your right middle toe and your ankle. Draw your hands back to heart center. Take a deep breath in, reach up. And as you exhale, you're going to bend your right knee and you're going to try to get that right thigh parallel to the ground. Now feel the energy reaching out through your fingertips. Look out over your right middle finger. Again, feel grounded and strong. So even though it's not always easy, come back to that strength. We all have that warrior strength within us. We're going to flow through this a little bit, right? It's a warrior going with the flow. So we're going to inhale, bring the hands back to heart center, extend the right knee straight. This is your breath in. Exhale, bring it back down and check that that right knee is tracking right out over your right middle toe. Get as deep into the pose as you can. Flow through that a few more times with me. Inhale. Together we flow. Exhale, lower down. Try to get that right thigh parallel to the ground if you can. Let's do it 2 more times. Inhale, we reach. Go with the flow. Exhale. Sink, 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 sink. Good. And one more time. Inhale to reach. Extend. And exhale. You are a warrior. So feel that strength, feel that energy, feel that openness, and deep, deep breaths in and out through the nose. Okay? We're going to move into reverse triangle from here. So extend your right leg straight. Your left hand is going to come back to your left thigh. Your right hand is going to reach up to the sky. If it's comfortable in your neck, look up towards your right hand. Feel both feet pressing down. Feel that stretch to the right side waist. Look up, deep breath in. And we're going to move to triangle pose next, which is such a great stretch, such a great pose. So we're going to bring the hands back from side to side. You're going to pull your right hand as far forward as you can and lift your left hip bone up. You probably already feel that stretch. And then we're going to pivot to the side for a triangle pose. So my feet were a little bit further than I wanted them to be apart. So you can adjust yourself if you need to as well. And come into your triangle pose. Think about taking your left ribs and pulling the left ribs back. In fact, if you want to hold on to your left ribs and gently give them a pull, that helps you to self-adjust the pose. And then if it's comfortable in your neck, look up towards your left hand, or you can look straight forward, or try looking down towards your right foot. Wherever you are, please breathe deeply. Take one more nice deep breath. Try to really lift that left hip up and slide your right hand down. One more nice deep breath. We're going to ground through the feet. We're going to imagine the left hand is pulling us up and out of the pose. And then turn both feet forward. How you feeling? Hands to your hips. Lean back and open up through the heart. Take a very deep breath in. And we're going to come into a straddle stretch from here. So you're going to lead with your heart. So pull forward with your heart. Hands come down to touch the floor. Now from here, you can scoot your feet a little wider apart. Your toes should actually be angled slightly in and your heels slightly out. Your hands could be right underneath your shoulders. And if you're more flexible, you're going to release your forehead and the crown of your head down towards the ground. And breathe in and out through the nose and look behind you. So you can close your eyes or look back and release all tension from your neck and your shoulders. Get that great stretch. Take one more very deep breath in. And then we're going to support ourselves on the way up. So you can turn your toes back out and your heels back in. Your hands can come to your thighs. And then you tuck your tailbone and you come rolling up to standing and roll your shoulders up, back, and down for that warrior pose on the other side. So you're going to turn the left toes away from you. The right heel is going to be the furthest thing away from you. You're going to bend that left knee so that the left knee is right out over the left ankle or the middle toes. Hands at heart center, deep breath in. You're going to reach your hands out and up to the sky. Reach them as high to the sky as you can, and then bend your left knee into that warrior stance. Again, you remember that you are stronger than you realize, right? And sometimes we have to go through some challenging times to really experience our deepest strengths. Let's go for our warrior flow. So together we flow. We're going to inhale, deep breath in, reach up. And exhale, lower down, looking out over your left middle finger. Again, protect that left knee by drawing it right out over your left middle toe. Inhale, we rise up. Exhale, we sink down. Slow motion, flowing warrior. So really be mindful with your movement, conscious of your breathing, sinking down as deep into your warrior as you can, and rising up to reach. This is our last one. Lower down. Again, check in with your alignment, not only physically in your pose, but also in your life. And then we're going to go to reverse triangle. So extend your left leg out straight, reach up and back. Get that nice side stretch through the left ribs and obliques. And then triangle pose. So hands reach out. You're going to reach your left hand as far forward as you can. Again, I need to draw my stance in a little bit here. You can adjust according to what feels good for you. So right hip is lifting, left hand is reaching, and then we pivot out to the side. So necks are tricky things. The neck can be very sensitive. Look down. So just check it out. See what feels good for you. Look down towards your left foot, look forward, and then look up. See what feels best for your neck. For me, it's either looking down or looking forward. But you do you, I do me. One of my favorite things to say. And then we're all okay. If we all do our thing, like it's all good, right? The competition and the comparison and all that is typically what gets us in trouble in yoga practice and in life, right? So you're going to press down with your feet. Feel grounded. Use your core. Lift your right hand up out of the pose and turn your toes straight forward. Let's do our straddle stretch again. So hands to your hips. Lean back. Open the heart. And then shift forward. Sometimes the second time through the pose, you feel a little bit more, you get a little bit more out of it, you're a little warmer, you're a little more open. Hands are ideally right underneath the shoulders. Elbows soften, fold forward, and again, look backwards, look behind you. Like for me, I can see Bruno's picture right behind me. And forward folds are always an opportunity to be introspective and to look inward, reflect back, and then look forward. So at this halfway mark of the year, coming up to the summer solstice, look back and look forward. Check out where you are and where you want to be, what adjustments you need to make for your daily activities, your life. Take 2 more breaths here, and I'm going to read you a quote that I put on my wall early this year to affirm the word that I chose for the year, and it's about the phoenix. So here's the quote. You can stay in your straddle stretch and just get a deeper stretch, relax and fold. The phoenix, in times of doubt and confusion, it symbolizes strength, transformation, and renewal. For only from the ashes of who we were can we rise up to become who we're meant to be. It's a good one, right? I'll repeat it for you again at the end of class, so it's worth repeating. Walk around to one foot. So I'm going to walk around to my left foot. You can walk to either side. It's all good. We're going to step into downward facing dog. So our first downward dog for today, and we're going to take 5 deep breaths here. So in downward dog, I need your hands shoulder distance apart, spreading out through the fingertips, pressing through the palms. Feet hip distance apart. Feel free to pedal right and left, bending the left knee, bending the right knee, reaching your heels down towards the mat to get a great stretch of the calf, Achilles, ankle, soleus. Feel grounded through your hands. Again, grateful even for the challenges, the lessons, the opportunities to learn and to grow and to heal. Pedal one more time right and left, and then find stillness and breathe deeply. We're going to go through a half vinyasa flow first, starting in child's pose. So we're going to release the knees down to the mat and drop the hips back onto the heels and come into child's pose, dropping the forehead down towards the mat. Take a deep conscious breath in through your nose. And exhale, soften and release and let go. So half vinyasa flow next. We're going to modify it. But if you're more advanced, you want to go straight into a straight leg version, feel free. You do you, I do me, okay? So modified is a bent knee. You're going to bend your elbows and lower down towards your mat. Protect your back. Point your toes, slide the shoulders back from the ears, coming up to a degree where you feel the stretch, but you're also honoring wherever your back is today. And then press back into child's pose again. Again, going with the flow. We're going to repeat that. You can either keep your knees bent or you can come into a straight leg plank. Either way, your elbows are going to bend again, so you're softly landing down onto your mat, pointing your toes, sliding your shoulders back from your ears, pressing your palms down into the mat as you lift and open through your heart. Pause and exhale back to child's pose. Now this time coming back into our downward facing dog, you're going to spread your fingertips out wide, curl your toes, and lift your hips up to the sky. Take a deep breath in, grounding through your hands and your heels. And then one more time through your vinyasa, we're going to inhale into your plank, bent knee or straight leg plank. Bend your elbows, lower down to your mat. Point your toes, inhale, come into your cobra, and pause. The pause is so critical, right? Not just in the pose, but reminder to just pause in life as well. And then curl your toes, come into either child's pose or downward facing dog, and take 3 deep breaths. Inhale through your nose, exhale, pressing your heels down, pressing through your knuckles, palms, fingertips. One more deep breath in. And exhale, pressing back. This time we're going to walk the hands backwards towards our feet. So take a walk backwards with your hands. Your feet are going to be wider than your hips. So take your pinky toes to the outside edge of your mat. Grab onto opposite elbows. And your knees can be bent a lot here if your hamstrings are tight or your low back is feeling any stress. Bend your knees a lot. Otherwise, the legs can be out straight. And you're just swaying a little bit from right to left in your ragdoll. Getting a great stretch through the backs of the hamstrings, the low back, and even the neck here. And then we're going to release the fingertips down to the floor, and we're going to do a prayer squat next. So I'd like for you to turn the toes out and the heels in and drop your tailbone down between your knees. This is one of my favorite stretches. If you do this like pretty much every day, you're going to keep your hips and your knees and your back really mobile and resilient through the aging process. So you can either press your hands together and fold your forehead down towards your fingertips, or you can continue to look straight forward. But introspecting again, folding forward is an opportunity to look inside. Okay, so rather always focusing on what's next and going forward all the time, take the time to slow down and look back and look within. And that's where you're pressing your palms together and allowing your fingertips to touch your forehead, closing your eyes. Release your fingertips down to touch the mat. We're going to lift the hips back up to the ceiling and turn your toes forward. Grab onto opposite elbows once again, ragdoll. Swing from right to left, releasing and allowing yourself to fold in half. The fingertips are going to touch the mat. You're going to toe heel your feet together. So your ankles and big toes are side by side. We're going to slide the hands to the shins in a halfway lift. So you're coming halfway up. You feel extension from the crown of the head to the tailbone, pulling the tailbone back and pulling the crown of the head forward. Belly pulls in and up, shoulders are back and together. And then exhale, come back to a forward fold. We're going to roll up to standing. So the hands are going to come to your thighs so you have some support. You're going to roll yourself slowly up, stacking your vertebrae one on top of each other. And then, of course, we stand up tall, aligned, and open in our mountain pose. So standing tall and aligned and open in mountain pose, we're going to come back to our tree pose to come full circle. And then we're going to come back to our mat and do a little reading and a little follow-up work. So the time goes quickly, doesn't it? So starting where or circling back around to where we started, we're going to come back to tree pose. So transition your weight to one foot. Again, you can have a chair or a table or a railing to help you with your balance, especially if it's new for you. You can also have your toe touching down to the floor. And if in your mind you're like, oh no, not this pose again, it's probably the pose you need the most. So balance work is one of the most challenging things that we have to encounter in our daily lives, like how to balance this chaos, right? Hands to heart center. Feel that positive energy. And again, practice that receiving. So we give what we receive. We are both a receiver and a giver, a transmitter and a receiver. So the palms open up to receive the gift. You open your heart to receive. Again, if you wobble, if you lose your balance, what do? You learn from that and you try again. Hands back to heart center, and ideally you have a sense of humor with it. And bring it back to your heart. Beautiful. You feel all that work happening in your ankle and your calf? Yeah, I know, me too. And that's why it's so good to practice it. So really good for all athletes as well, runners and all sports, because it's ankle and calf strength and stability and mobility. Okay, switch sides. So whichever leg you just did, do the other one. Find a sense of strength and inner balance. Hands at heart center. Reach your hands forward. Turn your palms open. Receive. So symbolically, isn't this just such a symbol right here? I am ready to receive positive energy. The more you receive, guess what? The more you have to give. It's a beautiful circle. Ah, hands back to heart center. And release your foot down. Nice job, everybody. Inhale. And then exhale. If you're turned to the front like me, you can turn to the side. We're going to do one more vinyasa flow, and we're going to end down on our mat. So folding forward, dive forward. We'll do our halfway lift again, hands to shins. Feel extension in the spine, working all those muscles along the spine to keep your posture open and aligned. Exhale, bend your knees and press your palms flat. You can either step back to child's pose or plank. Or modified plank or full plank, that is. So full plank is straight legs. Modified is bent knees. You do you, I do me. Take a deep breath in, feel your core, and feel your alignment here. So as if you're standing tall and aligned, crown of the head, spine, tailbone, heels. Bend your elbows, lower down, lead with your heart here. Feel your heart leading the movement. Point your toes, open up, one more back bend, breathe and pause. And exhale, everyone in child's pose. Release your hips back onto your heels. If you want to this time, hands back by your feet. And restorative child's pose, one of my favorite poses. Again, checking in. At this halfway mark of the year, look back, reflect, reset intention, modify if you need to, pivot if you need to. Sometimes things get thrown at you, like what happened to me. We've got to pivot. And then look forward. Okay, I'm going to give you 60 seconds just to pause and be introspective. Start to bring awareness back, and then you can sit yourself up to a easy seated pose, so comfortable crossed legs. Okay, so whether you're sitting or standing, alignment is key, right? And again, it's not just the physical alignment in the body with our yoga poses, it's the alignment that we're taking our what we want and our desires, what we see in the world that we want to be different. And then the karma yoga is the selfless action, the unselfie. And I see this trend, like I'm hopeful for this trend. The trend has been very much on selfie, like me. And what I see, and I'm hopeful for, is we. Instead of it being on me, then that's why we're here right now, today. It's about the we, isn't it? And the greater good. So thank you so much for being here. We're going to do just a little bit more, but I want to read this to you again because I feel like it's so key. This spoke to me so much about the phoenix. So what I want you to do is bring awareness to physical alignment. Hands can be down onto knees if you want to. You can fold your legs on top of each other, whatever feels good. You can also sit in a chair, by the way. You can also lie down on your back if your back is starting to speak to you. Either way, feel open through the heart and feel aligned through the posture. You can close your eyes if you want to. Certainly turn the palms up to receive again. And the reading is this: the phoenix in times of doubt and confusion symbolizes strength, transformation, and renewal. For only from the ashes of who we were can we rise up to become who we're meant to be. So that, I mean, I don't think it's by accident that was my saying that was on the wall. It's in the wall of my office, it's in the wall of my garage as I enter my house, and it's also my bookmarker. And it's not by accident that reading was something I chose in January, but became critical pivot point for me to continue to read and read and read when, hardship happened in April and threw me off course. Our strength, we all have this warrior strength. Sometimes you see it in other people. I know I do. But the truth is, what you see and admire in other people, the only reason you see it and admire it in other people is because it's within you. And so we are unified together. We are reminders to each other of our strength and our resilience. So thank you all again so much for being here, for showing up, for your warrior spirit, for your strength and your resilience. Thank you from Bruno. Again, I'm able to make a nice donation today to True Rescue in honor of my Bruno today. So we are grateful. His smile to me was, that's what I miss the most about him. He brought me an incredible amount of joy to see the happiness that he was able to experience because of the second chance that True Rescue gave him. And of course, then we took that to the next level and really made him part of our family. And so he is such a symbol of what is possible with love and a second chance. And for that, we are all very grateful. And one last little reminder, I know most of you have this book already, but Adopting Joy, 100% of the proceeds for this